Example 3. Now, this is a rather easy example. Okay, but surprisingly or shockingly, there are people who always find this quite a challenge, in the sense that it is because they can do multiplication, of matrices. The only problem is that they are so used to multiplying 2 by 2 or bigger matrices. So when they see smaller matrices like this, okay, this is a 1 by 2 and this is a 2 by 1. Okay, they start to get confused. Alright, so I hope this example will sort of help you see, and therefore you don't feel intimidated by this kind of question anymore. Okay, so the first thing you do is check. Okay, so check its order. So this is 1 by 2 and this is a 2 by 1. Alright, so you know that it is doable. Okay, because of the inner two numbers are the same. Alright, but the outer two number here will be extremely valuable. Okay, because you know that your final answer will be a 1 by 1, and therefore you only expect to see one number, okay, in your final answer, and your final answer is simply one number. It's just one number. Okay, so how are we going to do it then? Okay, well, it's still the same. Alright, and nothing much, or rather nothing has changed at all. Okay, so the first thing we do, we take the first row, which there's the only row here, there's only one row, and take the first column, and again there's only one column. Okay, so we will multiply 1 multiplied by 3 plus, okay, so 1 multiplied by 3, that will give us a 3, okay, plus 2 multiplied by 4, and that will give us an 8. Okay, so that's it. Alright, our answer will be 11, and the answer will be a 1 by 1. Okay, what many people have as a problem is that they tend to be careless. Okay, when they see simple order like this, not that many numbers, only 1 or 2 numbers like this. Okay, 1 by 2 matrix, 2 by 1 matrices, they start to get confused. Okay, and then they start to put in the answer as other order. Okay, so it is very important that you know how to make use of the order to figure out the answer. Number 4, the reason why I chose this as an example to show you is to show you how careless people can get normally. Okay, so these are the kind that, as we mentioned earlier on in example 3, the kind of multiplications whereby it's a little bit unusual, because people are usually so used to doing 2 by 2, 2 by 3. Okay, usually they don't see one row or one column. Okay, single row, single column, and this is when they start to get confused. Right, so for this multiplication, the first thing we do, we check, right? So this is a 1 by 3 matrix, and this is of course a 3 by 2 matrix, and therefore it is doable. Okay, this multiplication is doable, and our answer will be 1 by 2. Okay, the result will be a 1 by 2 matrix, which means that we expect to see, alright, a matrix in this form. Okay, a 1 row by 2 column. Alright, so I find this extremely useful, okay, for people who are usually careless. Okay, so this exercise here, you figure out your result first. Okay, you know that the result has to look a little like this. Okay, so let us go on. Alright, into doing this. First thing we do, we take the first row multiplied by the first column. Okay, so we'll have 0 multiplied by -1, and that will give us a 0, isn't it? So we have a 0. Okay, and of course we have 1 multiplied by a 0, again that will give us another 0. Okay, we're going to add that. Lastly, we have a 0 multiplied by a -2. Okay, so of course that will give us another 0. Okay, so much for our first element, okay, or 0. The next element, of course, that we mentioned earlier on, we finish this column, we move on to the next column, isn't it? So we'll take the first 0 multiplied by the 2. Okay, again we have a 0. Okay, then we'll take the 1 multiplied by the 1. Okay, we'll get 1. Right, lastly we get 0 multiplied by 0, we get another 0. So as you can see, our answer is actually something rather simple. It's 0, 1. Okay, there we go.